Okay. All right, team. So this is our kickoff Squatober call. This is the first time that I'm hosting this challenge on the Corvallis site. And so far, I know that we're the only site doing this challenge, which is really exciting. Um, Go ahead and make sure y'all are muted so I don't get distracted. But Squatober, this is happening here. It's from October 1st through October 30th. I have created a really cool calendar, and your whole goal is to follow the calendar all the way through and do all the squats. So I'm going to go ahead and share what it looks like. Let me pull it up, but I'm really proud of it. It's pretty cool. So you might have seen them already. I threw them in the fitness centers and on the bulletin boards, but here is our monthly calendar. You get to choose what intensity level you're at, whether you're doing beginner, intermediate, or advanced. You also get to choose if you want to change it up throughout the day. So if you start beginner, you don't have to stay beginner. If you have a day, if you start advanced, you don't have to stay in the advanced section. You can change up each day based on how you're feeling. But if you do really want to challenge yourself, you can stick with one level and try to complete it throughout the entire month. You also can increase the intensity by adding weights. So this calendar can be completed completely at your desk, in your living room, in your kitchen, wherever without any weights. But if you do want to add a little bit more of a challenge, you're welcome to use your dumbbells, use barbells, kettlebells, a plate, bands, any added resistance. You also can do more sets or more reps than what are listed here. So you don't have to do all 20 or 50 reps at one time. They can be broken up. If you're doing 50 reps, you could do like 5 sets of 10 if you wanted to. But you're going to get more of a challenge if you're going to do all 50 at one time, I can tell you that. If you're going to be taking our classes on site here, I am going to make sure that your squats are included in there. We might be doing more than what is listed on here, but you'll just know you'll get your squats done for those days. So tomorrow, day 1, you're going to pick your level, beginner, intermediate, or advanced, and you're going to do 20 body weight squats if you're beginner, 35 if you're intermediate, and 50 if you're advanced, and so on. You're going to follow that throughout the entire month. I do notice like you're going to be doing 4 days of squats in a row. The whole goal is just getting you up and moving more. That is a lot, so listen to your body. If you're feeling any type of pain in your knees, don't go as low maybe. Make sure you're engaging your glutes, watching your form. That is another part of the challenge, is you can schedule a squat assessment with me. So all that means is that you come down into the gym in building 10, and we will do a squat together, and I'll look at your ankles, your knees, your hips, your core, your shoulders, and help you learn how to do the most correct form squat and kind of identify where any problem areas are, or give you my best tips and tricks so that your squat is perfect. So let's just check in. Does anyone have questions so far? Is this confusing? How do we like the calendar? I am going to go over what each of these squats are. No questions. Okay.
Can we switch the rest days?
You can. Ideally, it's just going to be easier for you to follow the exact calendar. But if you need to switch the rest days around, say like the 9th, you really need a rest day, make sure you do the 9th exercises on the 10th then.
Okay.
Yeah, the goal, we're just trying to get you moving more. So for some of you, what's going to happen is 9:30, 10 p.m. bedtime rolls around, and you're going to realize you haven't done your squats yet, and you're going to have to stand up and do your squats. So if any of that's happening to you all, I'd love to hear, because then I just know that I'm doing my job right. Okay, so once the 30 days are done, I will be sending out a link for you all to just provide feedback and let me know how many days out of the 31 days you completed. And let me know like just how it went. Did you feel like you feel better after the challenge? Were you feeling like this was too easy? Just feedback, because this again is my first time ever doing this program. And then if you did complete all 31 days, I will be sending out some fun certificates. So you'll get your own Squatober certificate so that you can print it and broadcast it in your cube and brag to everyone else around you. I would also love if any of you have cube mates or people that you're sitting by, like encourage them to join you and try the challenge together. No shame in doing squats at your desk. Don't be embarrassed. There's no reason to be embarrassed. We all need to get exercising more with how sedentary a lot of our jobs are. Okay, so let's do some of these squat variations. Make sure you guys can all see me. I will stop sharing. All right, let me pin myself. All right, so first exercise is going to be just our plain old body weight squats. When we're doing our squat, you kind of look at your hip bones and go straight down. I like to have my feet a little bit further out from there. Start from the feet up. Feel free right now if you want, just stand up and join me. Let's do our squats together. Toes are going to be spread out. Grip the floor and then feel like you're screwing your feet outwards. That's immediately going to turn your glutes on. Okay. Once you get those glutes turned on, engage your core. So act like someone's about to punch you in your belly. Engage the core, pull your shoulders back and down. I like to have my hands together in the front and then sit back just like you're sitting into a chair. Okay, your heels should stay on the floor the entire time. I know that that is challenging for some of y'all, but that's the goal. Sit back, keep the chest up, and then press back up. A way to work on your squat form is to have a chair or a bench or a box behind you where you can sit all the way down and then stand all the way up. Okay, we need to be able to squat for the rest of our life. So make sure you're sitting and standing up correctly so that when you're 80, 90 years old, you can get off the toilet with no pain, right? Okay, so that's plain and simple body weight squat. The next version is going to be a narrow squat. A lot of you probably haven't done this. So feet are together. And then we're going to do our squat and back up. You might feel this a little bit more in your quads than your glutes, but learning how to do a narrow squat is a very functional move. Bonus points if you can get past 90 degrees here. These are hard. Okay, keep those heels down. There's our narrow squat. So it's in the name, feet just come together. It's a narrow stance. Okay, next squat is going to be our sumo squat. All right, I love sumo squats. These have been in my workout plans every week for the past month lately. Toes are facing out, okay? A little bit wider than our regular squat. Here's our body weight squat. Just slide a little bit further out, toes face out, automatically squeeze your glutes, okay? We're going to go down and keep squeezing our glutes so that our knees go out. What we don't want to see is those ankles roll in and the knees go in and then back up, okay? So just sumo. You're going to get a really good stretch of those adductors. You're going to feel your abductors working, so the outside of your glutes. But again, shoulders back, sitting back into your chair and pressing up. It's just sumo stance. I think sumo gets the name from like sumo wrestlers. So that's how you can memorize that one. All right, staggered squat. This is a fun one. So regular squat, bring one foot just slightly back, like 1 foot space behind, and then squatting right here. So it's not a lunge. It's still a squat. So from a side, here's that staggered stance position right here. So that heel is a little bit more up off the ground and more of your weight is going to be in that left leg, but you are going to really feel that right quad working. Split up your reps, do half on one side, half on the other side, okay, with that staggered position. So those are staggered squats. They're different than a split squat. Split squat is just a stationary lunge. So we've got our squat position. Take your foot, slide it back. That is going to be our split position, and then up and down. So it's just a lunge staying in one spot. You can put some dumbbells in those hands. But again, squat position, slide our foot back. We're not in a straight line. We're still in the hip width distance, up and down. This is where you might experience a little bit of knee pain if you have knee troubles. I would just not go quite as low and really try to target that outside glute. So mind muscle connection, squeeze your glute and pressing up. Again, do like half your reps on one leg and then half on the other leg. Let's see, overhead squats next. Some of y'all, and whenever you've done your squat assessments with me, I have you do this, but let's reach our arms up, get into the feet position as the body weight squat we did first, and then try to keep those arms up as you squat down. This is a challenging movement. It's requiring a lot of functionality out of your body. So a strong posterior chain in your back, a strong core. You might notice that this is happening when you try to keep your arms up. That's okay. Just work on it. You can throw a bar over your head, a PVC pipe over your head. The arms up are called overhead squats. So arms overhead and squat. Good question, Susie. And the calendar is going to be sent out this afternoon. I'm sending it after this. Okay, I'm getting winded. Next one is going to be pulsing squats. Adding a pulse. I was talking to Tyler, if you guys know Tyler, and he said this is a funny name, but it's just a pulse. Down, pulse, back up. So go down into your squat, little baby squat, and then back up. So down, pulse, up. It's just going to add a little bit more tension at the bottom of the squat, especially on those glutes. So right there, add the pulse, back up. Your legs will burn out faster than when you're just doing regular squats up and down. And yes, Molly, I am going to make sure this video is posted to our YouTube page, and then I'm going to link it into that first email that has the calendar. Okay, lateral squats. Okay, wide stance, wider than our sumo, okay? One knee is bending, the other leg staying straight. We're pushing our hips backwards. Right here, you're going to get a really long stretch in the inside of that straight leg and press up. I do want to make sure your shoulders aren't rounding forward when you're doing this. Shoulders back, hips go backwards. Up and down. Keeping that heel flat on the floor right here. So here's a side view. Hips back. Look at how much my hips go backwards and my heels stay flat. Some of y'all are going to love these and some of y'all are going to hate these. I love them. They feel great. Okay. And then the last one is just your costume squat. So on the 31st, make sure you're doing your squats wearing your Halloween costume. And if your Halloween costume is dressing up as an engineer for the day, that's your Halloween costume, okay? Pick whatever squat you want to do on that final day, kind of up to you. I think there is one day in the calendar that it's you choose what squat you like the most. Let's see. I think, yeah, on the 24th, it's pick your squats. So we've got exposure to a lot of squats by then. Pick whichever one you think is best. I might be walking through your aisles and just making sure that everyone is completing their squats this month, okay? Just don't get annoyed by me. Okay, let's see. Let's try some of these with weights if you want to add an extra challenge. Okay, so if we're doing body weight squats and you want to add some weights, we can grab a dumbbell, a kettlebell, or a barbell, but best way is going to hold it in the front right here. If you're a beginner to adding weights, this is going to be called a goblet squat, but still normal squat, just down and up. The weight is just held to your chest. If you want to go a little bit heavier and your elbows or shoulders aren't allowing that front rack position, we can just hold the weights out to the side and do more of like a deadlift movement, squatting and pulling up. If you want to start trying around and messing around with barbell, we've got, this is probably the lightest one we got, it's 20 pounds, but these go all the way up to the 45-pound bars. And then you can throw some more weights on the side. But we can do our squats with the bar on our back. When it's on our back, it's not on our spine. It's kind of on that little muscly trap area. Same thing, just extra core engagement, sit back, press back up. I wouldn't really be doing many of the other squats with the barbell. Most of your other squats, I would recommend doing with the kettlebell or the dumbbell in the front, like the sumo squat, like the, let's see, the split squat right here, up and down, or the lateral lunge right here. Okay. But you pick what's best for you, whatever version. Maybe at the beginning of the month, you're trying just body weight. And then towards the end, you come down to the gym and you try some with some weights. Squats are super functional. They use every muscle in your lower body and your core. So you're going to burn a ton of calories when you do them, and your body's going to get a great workout. So, okay. As I'm catching my breath, I'll read some of these. That's a good question, Janet. She asks if we use a long ruler from your head to your tailbone to ensure you're straight back. I use those a lot for Romanian deadlifts, so a hip hinge or what's called an RDL. What she's talking about is like taking like a PVC pipe or something straight and then holding it so it's touching your tailbone and your head, and then you keep that a straight line as you squat. That is a great way to see if you do have proper form. I encourage that. A lot of times I have my clients do it where they're hinging so that they're not having any type of rounding. But if you feel like on your squats, your shoulders are going forward and that motion's happening, then yes, like give it a try until you can do it on your own. A great way to see if you have a rounding back is just to film yourself. Set up your phone and watch it from the side. How is your form? Okay, I was gonna give just a few more squat tips and then open it up to more questions. But number one squat tip that I see with almost every single person that comes in here is underactive glutes. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard me say that, underactive glutes, underactive core, but especially underactive glutes. And underactive glutes can really result in some sciatica pain, knee pain. The more you can engage your glutes on your squat, the less pressure there is going to be on your knees. So when I was talking about squats earlier, or the form initially, where you're screwing your feet into the ground, that's a great way to turn your glutes on. But what happens is that as soon as you start to squat, you're relaxing your glutes and then you squeeze them up at the top. We need to learn how to squat with our glutes engaged at the bottom and at the top, honestly, through the entire movement. So what I encourage you to do is to start that motion, screw your feet into the ground, drop into your squat. I just know that half of you, if you're squatting right now, your glutes are not engaged. Pause here. Think about squeezing your glutes. Sometimes it works in your brain, like at the bottom of your squat. Try to think about squeezing your butt cheeks together, even though they're not. I know that's probably not the best way to explain that, but it works. So get into that squat, squeeze your glutes, press up. And if you keep doing that, you can notice how much of a difference it feels on your knees. The load is going to be decreased. You're going to be using the right muscles. I mean, our glutes are the biggest muscle in your body, so we should get them to be as strong as possible because they do so much for us. And the more that we're sitting down on our butts in our chairs, the more inactive and underactive they become. And then we don't use our glutes when we're hiking, when we're walking up and down stairs, and you're just using your knees. So use your glutes, brace your core, shoulders back, slow, controlled. Let's work on having some perfect squats throughout this month and just getting some more movement in. I encourage you all to save the attached calendar when I email it to you. Print it out, put it on your fridge at home, put it in your cube, but check it off as the days go by, stay consistent. Let's just try to exercise a little bit more than normal and especially get those glutes activated and our legs stronger, okay? Okay, I just talked your ears off for 20 minutes. Anyone have any questions? difference between a squat and a lunge. Good question, Catherine. A lunge is a squat. They're both lower body push exercises. It's just one is staggered and one feet are together. So I did say this a little bit earlier, but anytime you're doing a lunge, you are just doing a form of a squat. It's just targeting one leg a little bit differently than the other. We call that isolateral instead of contralateral. So I'd say get into your squat position, slide that foot backwards, and then up and down. In the calendar, it's called a split squat, but it also is a static lunge. Lunges, everyone's favorite. If you ever need a good exercise to get your heart rate up, do some walking lunges with some heavy dumbbells and then leave. That'll be a good workout for the day. Okay, any other questions, team? It's all Corvallis folks on the line, so feel free to chime in. No, there's no bad question. Good. You're welcome, Janet. Let's see. Who can I call on that's going to be excited for this program? Chris Kapatic, are you excited for Squatober?
Yes, I am. I was thinking if there was a way to maybe coordinate a lunchtime gathering or something where we could meet at the Oasis and have everybody doing their squats out there.
Yeah, I would love that. I'll kind of brainstorm some ideas and I have a list of 60 HP employees signed up for this from the Corvallis site. So I'll just send you all an optional invitation and we can kind of make something like that happen next week. That'd be a good idea.
That'd be fun.
Although I love seeing you all in the gym, you know that. But yeah, I know the Oasis, the gym is so far away. It's way too much walking, but I'll coordinate something in the Oasis. That's a great idea. Thanks. Lunchtime squats. Yeah. Is anyone else excited? Anyone else have some cool ideas?
I'm excited, and I got my husband who does not work at HP. He's signed up with me. He said he'd do it with me every day.
Sweet. I love it. Good. I've heard a few people are getting their entire families to join, which is really exciting.
Thanks for doing this, Hannah. Squats are my favorite exercise, so I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for joining. Okay. Yes, tracking. Good question. Ian asked, is tracking for this determined by each individual? Yes. I'm still determining how I'm going to ask you all how you completed the challenge at the end. I'm going to just let you openly probably respond, like, did you complete all like 31 days? And this will include your rest days. Did you complete like 20 out of the 30, 15 out of the 30? Like, where were you at? But even if you miss a day, I would encourage you like the next day to just jump back in and keep going, because that's the whole goal, is just consistency and to challenge ourselves in a new way. So everyone just has to track themselves. It's honor code. No, you can 100% squat on a rest day. So that's another question. He asked, if you squat on a rest day, does that mean you meet the criteria, or you don't meet the criteria for that day? You can go above and beyond. What I'm setting is the bare minimum. So add weights, add like longer holds, add any extra challenge you want, but at least check off doing your 20 squats or your 35 squats or your 50 squats. Sweet.
Will you be leaving squats out of class on our one rest day that is during class?
Oh gosh. To be determined, Chris.
Okay.
If I like you all that day, then yes. Depends if you're asking any smart questions or not. All right, sweet. Well, you all know who to contact if you have any questions. I'm going to get this recording uploaded to YouTube and then link it in our email, and I'll get it sent out this afternoon so that you can see or rewatch and also get the calendar to get started right away tomorrow morning. Cool. All right. Thank you, team. See you later.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're
Thanks,
welcome.
Hannah.
Thank you all. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
See ya. Cheers.